Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are in this world. Hi, it's time for episode 7 of Warrior Wealth Wednesday. This is step 6, the 10 steps to wealth. And this one is the fertility audit. So it sounds interesting, and I'm sure you'll want to jump on board and have the discussion around this with me. So I'm your host, Fiona Jean, Purposeful Warrior, and my passion and purpose is to help others see generational wealth. And is a legacy they can also create for themselves and those that want to live on after them, or those that will live on after them. The money, if you like, that lives on after we do, and the healthy habits around money. I'm going to poke the bear, speak my truth, tell it how it is. That's how I roll these days. And if you don't like it, you don't have to watch. Simple. And basically, the 10 steps to wealth are I learned them from one of my most impactful mentors, Counsel, and so I'm sharing these with you. So grab your conscious cuppa. I have my water bottle today, plenty of hydration, notebook and pen, somewhere quiet. I look forward to engaging with you. And if you like, make sure you switch on notifications for the Purposeful Warrior, then you won't miss any of these videos, and you can go back and watch them. Hashtag replay if you are watching the replay, and I know you're here. If not, give me a shout out, send me some love, tell me where you're watching from. It'd be lovely to engage with you. So step 6 then, the fertility audit. Now this is interesting, and I know that now that you know after the steps we've gone through that you can learn and unlearn things, and that the future is not so preordained, then you can begin drawing to yourself all that you need to achieve success. It's important to understand that as I don't use success as a noun, for example, same as Paul, this is where I learned this from. I use it as a verb. I see it more as a continual state of being, more of who you are capable of becoming. And so rather than we talk about success, we talk about successing because it's a doing thing. Enculturation teaches you how to limit yourself. But I hope that you're now beginning to see that your potential is a lot greater than any limit you've been conditioned with. Would you rather be a limited self or an expanded self? Drop in a comment in the box and let me know which one you would prefer to be. Achieve your full potential. Just imagine you have to have a hand, in your hand a seed, right? Just imagine you have a seed there. In this case, we'll call it an avocado seed. And within its structure, it has the genetic material to grow, to reach its full potential. As a mature tree, it will bear fruit and seed for many years to come. For that to happen, you must place the seed into a fertile environment where it can get all the moisture, all the nutrients it needs for the miracle of growth to take place. And we're akin to this seed. This is what I'm getting at here. There are two things that can happen to the seed. It can either realize its potential by being in a constant state of growth, or if it's not growing, in a constant state of contraction, where eventually it will wither and die. Whether you hold it in your hand or not, it cannot fulfill its potential. If it's in your hand, right, it can't fulfill its potential because it can't get what it needs to be able to grow. So when we hold things close to our chest like this, it's akin to keeping the seed out of its environment. How can we expect it to grow? It doesn't have what it needs. I hope you understand that. It's not the right environment for it to achieve its potential. So Earl Nightingale says, achievement requires more than a vision. It takes courage, resolve, and tenacity. All you have got to do is plant the seed in your mind, care for its work steadily towards a goal, and it will become a reality for you. So that's sort of the gist of his quotation there, that we need to nurture what we have. So like seeds, we have so much potential to grow and produce fruit of our minds, and yet if you place themselves in a fertile environment where such growth can take place. Most people stop learning when they finish their formal schooling because they stop learning, they stop growing. Oh, and please don't do that. Learn, grow every day. What's even worse, they continually allow their psychology, the roots, if you like, to be bathed in unproductive thoughts, beliefs, and actions. They allow the attributes and belief systems of negative, skeptical people to dominate their own thinking. And they allow fear of failure to dominate their psychological processes. So they become stuck. They don't take the courageous steps forward. And part of a purposeful warrior, one of the main attributes is to be courageous. So if you haven't watched it, you can go and watch my live on my own timeline today about that. To start releasing the power within you, rather than focus on what you perceive as failure, start focusing on the process that could turn things around for you. Even if you make a few mistakes, never see these mistakes as a negative, right? Always see them as a positive learning experience and focus on the fact that you have achieved something. Success is a continual process, it's a journey, an emergent. It's not an end destination. This is why we call it successing. Remember, like the seed, you're either in a constant state of growth or a constant state of suspended animation until your potential eventually atrophies. It just fossilizes. It stays stuck, and that's it. Doesn't go anywhere. In an ideal world, people basically strive to achieve a balance between the actions of cause and effect. However, most people don't live in an ideal world, and as a result of this, they live in a constant struggle of attracting to themselves all things pleasurable and avoiding all things painful. They call it the sweet spot, a sort of protection where they can't get hurt. Because people are busy trying to avoid all things painful, the majority fail to succeed. They fail to change any of the underlying causes and of their results, and they just go on behaving as they've always done. And that's fine. If that's what you want, that's your life, then please just jump off this live and don't watch anymore, because it's, quite frankly, it's frustrating when people say they want something different, but they're not prepared to take the rose-colored glasses off and see things differently. The fear of feeling bad, getting things wrong, failing far outweighs the desire to go after pleasure in order to feel good all the time. So instead, they seek pleasure through instant gratification and through avoidance of discomfort. And as a result, the majority never move out of their comfort zone. They're stuck there. Please don't do that. If you remain in your comfort zone, you'll be doing, what, who was it? Oh my gosh. Noel Whittaker. What he says is describing as drifting toward disaster. Getting it wrong a few times just results in that perhaps you prefer not to achieve. You end up getting what you don't want. So drifting toward disaster, is that you right now? If it is, then start focusing on the process that could turn things around for you. It's never too late to start to make a change. All results are feedback. And once you've established a feedback mechanism, like we've talked about several times before, you'll be able to set new goals for yourself and new ways of achieving them. Feedback provides you with opportunity to make useful corrections to any behavior or situation you want. Feedback offers opportunities to learn things you may not have noticed before, and it gives you help and guidance, if you like, to keep your goals in full view. When you start realizing the power within you rather than focusing on what you perceive as failure, you start focusing on the process that you could turn things around. Even if you make a few mistakes, never see them as negative. Always see them as a positive learning experience and a focus on the fact that you've achieved something that you can only achieve by doing. We've talked about this before. We take knowledge, we take skill, and we have to do things to build it, to make it, for it to be semantic knowledge, where to embody it, we have to do things. The fact that you're doing something, is to be celebrated, because almost everyone is busy doing nothing. The secret is just to learn from your mistakes and get on with things in a more informed vantage point. More will always help you to get things right. That's what success is. Success is a continuing journey, like we said before. It's not an end destination. Successful investing is a continual process of doing and learning. It's about making decisions, watching, markets, house prices, whatever it is that your strategy you're running. It's about employing strategies and knowing what to do with other people's strategies start working against yours. Yet because most people never take any action to improve themselves, they reach sameness early in life and take up permanent residence there. It's so sad to see. They never understand that success exists on the other side of the fear barrier. That's why we need to be courageous. Think about it. If you're not growing, you'll never be good as the day you stopped growing. Success means moving out of your moving out of your comfort zone to discover and learn more. Remember, like the seed, right? What did we say earlier? Like the seed, you're in a constant state of growth or suspended animation. What do you choose? Emerson reminds us that the only thing that grows is what you give energy to. If you're giving your energy to fear, you're only giving your energy to skepticism, to excuses. Then what's growing inside of you is all that you give your energy to. If you're not continually placing yourself in fertile environments, you're in a constant state of atrophy. If you're not growing like the seed, then the only thing you can be doing is slowly decaying. Makes sense, doesn't it? Just leave everything they think out at the door and just ask yourself that question. Does it make sense what I'm saying? How can you grow if you're not learning? If you're surrounding yourself with positive people, if you're caught up in life's cobweb, how can you grow if you're not continuing placing yourself in this environment that help those who've climbed Everest find their own financial mountain? Pause for a moment to observe your environment. Look around you. Have you consciously created a fertile and supportive life capsule? You certainly would have if you're on the journey to Mars, right? Well, you are on the journey to Mars. Are you surrounded only with people who affirm and support your journey? Have you created and found a quiet space for study and contemplation? Are you continually at the mercy of interrupting phone calls, texts, Facebook, Twitter, Telegram, television, senseless shouting radio, roaring traffic, all these things? Is that you? Are you wrestling? Or are you resting? Exercising? Eating moderately to give your brain the best opportunity to work with and for you? I'd love you to take a fertility audit of your environment. How fertile is your environment to grow and to nurture? Pause for a moment to observe your environment, like we said, and let's go through this checklist. Have you considered creating a fertile environment and supportive life capsule? Yes or no? Are you surrounded with people who affirm and support your journey? Yes or no? Have you created or found a quiet space for study and contemplation in your home or in your fertile environment? Yes or no? Are you continually at the mercy of interruptions? Yes or no? Are you resting, exercising, and eating well to feed your brain? Yes or no? Is your wealth workspace abundant in supportive visuals? Yes or no? Have you surrounded yourself with virtual community of like-minded people and mentors through their blogs, audios, videos, books, publications, whatever it is for you? Yes or no? Have you found a real-life local group of people who are on a journey of change and growth? Yes or no? Systematically remove from your everyday environment every single scrap of impediment to your wealth journey you've chosen to embark on. If you are serious, you need to be determined about it. Be determined about it. It's very important you listen to those 4 words. Be determined about it. It's people who have succeeded on their own journeys who can tell you where the hand and footholds are. They can tell you when to use the safety nets and ropes, right? They can tell you what equipment you'll need and where to get the best deals. They can assist you when things go tough and go wrong, and they'll be able to offer you support when you need it. They've climbed their own Mount financial Everest, and they want to help you to get up yours. Remember, no financial mountain was ever conquered by someone who gave up halfway. It just doesn't happen. The more you stand back from your fear, the larger they loom, the bigger they get. You give power over that little voice in your head that says, you can't do anything right. Then that little voice is your self-saboteur. As long as you continue to listen, it will continue to control. The way to tackle your fears is to walk into them, and eventually they'll cease to have control over you. They'll diminish in size and become non-existent. Remember that success exists on the other side of your fear barrier. Because change can only happen when you decide to make it happen. Start with the audit and plan ways to ensure that your environment is conducive to you reaching your maximum potential. No, it's not necessarily an easy thing to do. I get it. I know that. I've been there. I still walk this journey with you. Yet if at the part of your journey you need help, please email, let me know, and reach out, and we'll support you as much as I can. In step 7, we'll start talking about the need to construct a plan. With a plan and the discipline to implement it, your journey to wealth and financial independence is almost assured. So I'll leave it there. Remember, comment, give me the book, or look for the link and download your copy of step 6. And I trust that you're rereading all of steps 1 through 5 and then add number 6 to it as well. So till next time, remember to be your own wealth guru. Do whatever it takes. So it's bye-bye from me, and I'll see you then.